Good afternoon, hi SEO fans, and welcome to this week's Ask Me Anything video. Yeah, so we're doing one of these again. Welcome to our newest members. So what we do is every week or every couple of weeks we'll do a video on a Friday about different things, and sometimes we mix in some of these Ask Me Anything videos where we'll answer questions, right?
Yeah, so we'll put a post on the group, normally Tuesday, Wednesday time, if we're planning to do it, and we'll ask you for any questions that you have on SEO. And anything. Really. It doesn't have to be really advanced, it can be really basic. It doesn't matter if we covered it before, we can still run through it again.
Cool.
Awesome. So, yeah, so first ones then. I think it's you asking me first.
Okay, right. So this is a question from Jamie. How do you encourage a user to review your Google My Business page? Good questions, obviously, with the super relevant with the introduction of HighLocal.
Yeah, exactly. So
track your reviews.
Yeah, so getting reviews on your Google My Business page will help with your local SEO performance. So obviously it's really good to try and encourage your customers, whether you sell products or whether you offer services, get them to leave reviews on Google My Business. Rick actually commented back saying that timing is really important, and it's definitely correct. Try and catch someone just when they've either finished using your service or when they've just had that product delivered to them.
In person if you can.
Yeah, exactly, that's even better. And try and catch them at the right time. If you wait a couple of months and ask them to leave a review, there's a good chance that they probably won't do it. Yeah. Also make it super easy for them as well. So send them a link over to your Google My Business page. You can actually get specific links for where you go to actually leave a review as well. Send them directly to that page and get them to leave the review directly there. The other option as well, it depends on how much you want reviews, but you can incentivize it. Yep. So offer them a percentage discount maybe on if they come back and use your product or service again. Gets repeat customers, which is great anyway. But also gets them to leave a review. Yeah, one thing that works really nicely for that, I've seen work nicely, is when people leave their business card at the end, that it will say on there, it will have like, leave us a review on Google. But then they'll also have the, for 10% off your next time you use us. Like Kieran said, it's repeat business as well as getting them back to you. And it's something physical that they can take, and it gets them to leave a Google review. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, awesome. So next question was asked by Aidan. What are the easiest SEO techniques to do that yield the best results? Yeah, okay, so good question. Rich Keller actually responded. Good response. He said the title, the description, the H1. And then he also followed up saying, before everyone gangs up on me saying these are not relevant anymore, try ranking a page without them. Completely agree with Rich. Those, especially let's say titles and H1s, it worked 10 years ago, it worked 5 years ago, it worked 2 years ago, it works now. And really you need to understand why it works and why it probably always will work. Two reasons, right? So Google wants to understand what a page is about. So imagine that you're looking at a newspaper and there's an article in front of you. You want to work out what that article is about. What are you going to look at? You're going to look at the heading, right? You're going to look at the heading and go, oh, it's a sports results, or it's a political, piece of content. So it's a great way for it to understand straight away what it's about, and it gives it a good understanding going, right, it should be in this category. It should potentially rank for these types of keywords. So that's the first point, and that's why it'll always be super important. But that is kind of probably a little bit less important, let's say, over time of using maybe your exact keywords. Yeah. You still mention your exact keywords because it's the best thing to do, but you can use synonyms or closely related keywords, and it will understand that they're related, and you'll probably still rank. But the second reason is from a Google point of view, right? Google, if you're a user and you go to Google and you search, you put in a keyword, let's say plumber rugby, plumber Birmingham, whatever, right? You're going to scan the results, and you want to get off Google, you want to find a result really, really quickly, and you want to go through. And what do people use that? What do people use to do that? They look for instances of their keywords, right? They'll look for the first one that says plumber London. Oh great, that's exactly what I searched for. This has got it in this big blue text, I'm going to click it. It's what Google's users want to see. They want to see that the results that are underneath match up to the query they've put in. If it doesn't, they'll be like, well, Google's not very good. I'm going to go to Bing or... Yeah. Well, there's other no one's ever said that. We love you, Bing. So that's another reason why Google will always promote it, and it helps with click-through rate, and it helps them to keep people on Google, basically. So, yeah, two reasons. Google will always understand it better, but secondly, it appeases users more, so therefore it'll always rank higher. So, yeah, it's those basics. Description, probably less so.
Description is there more from a click-through point of view aid, so the better your description, the higher amount of clicks you'll get. But titles are really the first place to start. H1s, headings, really, really important. Just do those basic things that make Google understand what your content is about. Then start looking at maybe more of the more technical things, more of the off-site things. But as a first place, that's good. And actually, a follow-up to that will be in the last question, which I'll ask after Kira's next question.
Awesome.
All right. So Kira's next question is from Hamzi, who asks, e-commerce, are website builders bad for SEO? If so, how does Shopify, Wix, or WordPress, with the plugins like WooCommerce, how do they compare? So yeah, it's a question that's frequently searched, and I agree.
Yeah, no, it's one that comes about because, especially the likes of Wix, they've had quite a bad rep from an SEO point of view over the last couple of years.
Well, their sites weren't indexable, so...
No, exactly.
It's justified.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say WordPress and Shopify tend to be ahead of Wix in terms of the ability for you to be able to make changes from an SEO point of view. Now, Wix does allow you to do the basics, and the basics that we've just talked about, titles, meta descriptions, headings, that sort of stuff, and some URL bits, but they're quite limited as to what you can do on a more advanced element. Also, some of the advanced bits that you can do are behind a kind of a higher subscription level, so you have to pay more to be able to do it. Whereas WordPress, obviously, for the most part, once you've kind of paid for your design of your website and you've paid for the kind of key plugins that you need, you don't pay on a monthly basis anyway. So
lots of plugins are free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Yoast and stuff like that.
You don't need your freemium version, the premium version of Yoast. The free version gets you everything you really need.
Yeah, same with website cache and speed plugins and stuff. There's a lot of free versions out there that are really good. So yeah, Shopify and WordPress tend to be the best because they're easy to customize from an SEO point of view.
Yeah, like one thing to add, I see a lot of issues with Shopify websites is having the correct category structure. So, let's say you've got what we call a top level category. So you sell shoes. So you might have a category that's called shoes. And then within that, you've got your level 2 categories, which would be men's shoes and women's shoes. And then within each of those, you might have level 3 categories, which is like men's red shoes, men's blue shoes, men's purple shoes, whatever they might be. How people typically set them up in Shopify is they'll set them up as a top collection page and then create the others as childs within them. But what that creates is like a little filter down the left where you tick men's and then you tick the colour. And that creates these query string URLs that Google can't index very well. So what you need to do is you need to set them up as individual collection pages, which is a bit more difficult to do, and it's not the default way of doing it in Shopify. And you need to from an SEO point of view. So I would say that's a bit of a tricky thing that I see a lot of Shopify sites getting wrong. So although it can be overcome, it's not as intuitive to do. Whereas something like a WordPress or WooCommerce, it's the default, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'd say in order of kind of ranking, WordPress tends to be the best because it's it's most widely used as well, which means that the support in terms of plugins to allow you to do this complex stuff, there's a lot there. We're losing Christmas right now. So WordPress tends to be the best, followed by Shopify, and then followed by Wix. It may be stuff that they improve over the years, but that's how it is currently, I'd say.
Cool.
Last question. Why would you not want multiple pages or posts targeting the same keyword? I get that you're making it clear to Google as to which one to focus on, but surely if you could get 2 up on page 1, that's good.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to answer the second bit. So the 2 up on page 1, that's something that Google have worked very hard over the last few years to reduce.
Yeah.
So previously you might have seen it, right? You search for a keyword, let's say you're searching for a product, and the first page, every listing would be Amazon, right? Amazon.co.uk, Amazon.co.uk, there'd be all the products related to that. Or there'd be so many varieties like that. Like you're searching like a business, and there'd be Yelp result. And Google have worked very hard, and they've released maybe 2-3 updates to reduce the amount of, or to increase the amount of unique domains on a per page basis. So you just don't see that very often anymore. So from that point of view, by optimizing multiple pages, you're not going to get the ability to rank 2, 3, 4. You might still in some cases, but it's becoming more and more rare.
It's going to be low competition keywords.
Very low competition. Yeah, where it just so happens that your 2 pages are better than everyone else's anyway. But I guess, answering it more clearly, Google, if you've got 2 pieces of content that you're writing, then you shouldn't really be targeting the same keyword anyway. If they're talking about the exact same topic from the exact same angle, then they're going to have the same keyword. They're going to have the same content. But if you're writing two pieces of content that, although might be about the same umbrella topic, they're about looking at it from a different angle, from a different area, then the keywords can be different anyway. So let's say that we wrote an article about SEO software, right? Or that's the keyword on my site was SEO software. Now we created a blog post we talked about SEO software, but from a small business owner point of view. And then we talked about SEO software in another blog post, but from an agency user point of view. And then another blog post about startups. Now, you could say they're all trying to target the same keyword SEO software, but they're not. They're all trying to target a more specific, different angle, which is SEO software for small businesses, SEO software for agencies. Whereas if I just created 3 blog posts that were just about SEO software, I'd be repeating myself for one, and it can't be no point. I think if you're writing 2 blog posts, you probably know what the 2 angles are, and that should dictate what keywords you should go for.
Yeah, I'd say what tends to happen, and we've spoken about it before, is cannibalisation. Mm-hmm. So if you're targeting the same thing, same keyword over 2 pages, it isn't the case that you'll get 2 pages that rank. It'll be that Google jumps between which one it uses, and when it does that, you then start to see fluctuation in your rankings, and a lot of the time you hinder your performance and it drops down because of it. So
yeah, I mean, if you've got 2 pieces, you can make it clear what keywords to go for just by not making sure you're optimizing that same keyword, in those really important parts, which is, your title isn't the exact same keyword, or your heading isn't the exact same keyword. Mix it up, flesh it out a little bit, and you will naturally optimize for different types of keywords.
Yeah, and I think Andy found a stat today with regards to content, which actually links in quite nicely with this.
This is a good stat. So 90% of the content on the internet has been created in the last 2 years, which is insane.
Yeah, it's mental.
That's it. And then another crazy stat is 91% of all content gets no traffic through Google. So that's what, 91 out of 100, 9 times out of 10, someone writes a piece of content, it will never get any traffic from Google. So yeah, be careful. I guess the key things from that: prune content, review content. Can you improve it? Does it need to be there? Can you combine content, make it better? It doesn't mean you should get rid of all your old content. Just review it and look at it kind of objectively and go, okay, could it be better? Can I combine bits, or can I just delete? Yeah, I think that's
exactly awesome.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So thank you for everyone that submitted questions. As mentioned at the start, we will do this more often. So every couple of weeks. Don't know what the schedule will be like over Christmas, but we'll see. One other thing you might have noticed, we've got some very nice hike stickers. So if anyone wants any, just drop a message. Yeah, we're happy to send them out.
Yeah,
more than happy. So yeah, just let us know.
Pretty
if you want
cool.
one. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks all.
Cheers, then. Bye bye.